Today's episode is special. Today, I have invited a very good friend of mine. His name is John Harrington. John is an English teacher, but not only that. John has taught English in many different countries. So today, I want to talk to John about something very important. Why learning a language feels so difficult, and more importantly, what really helps language learners improve. Before we start, I want to say something very clearly. John and I will both speak simple English today. We are doing this on purpose. We want you to understand. We want you to feel comfortable. So, John, welcome to English Unleashed.
Thank you, Tom. It's great to be here. Like Tom said, I will speak slowly. I will do my best. I can't speak like Tom, but I will try my best.
All right, John, I want to start with a big question. Many learners tell me this. They say, Tom, I study English, but I feel stuck. They learn words, they watch videos, but they feel they are not moving forward. Why do so many learners feel stuck?
Well, this is a very good question, Tom. And before I explain more, I want to say something very important to everyone listening. If you feel stuck in English, well, you're not alone. Feeling stuck is normal. It happens to many people. In fact, almost all learners feel stuck at some point. I have taught English for many years. I have taught students in different countries. And I can tell you this clearly. Strong students feel stuck. Weak students feel stuck. Beginner students feel stuck. Even advanced learners feel stuck. So if you feel this way, it does not mean you are bad at languages.
So, John, why do they feel stuck?
Well, Tom, one big reason people feel stuck is this. Language learning is not a straight line. A straight line means you go up all the time. Every day is better than yesterday. Every week, you feel progress. But language learning does not work like that. Real learning goes up and down. Some days you feel progress. You understand more. You feel confident. Other days, you feel nothing is changing. You listen, but you don't understand. You speak, but the words don't come out. And sometimes, you can feel worse than before.
Yeah, that is very common, John.
Exactly. You think, why can't I speak today? Why did I forget this word? Why was my English better last week? But this feeling is part of learning. It does not mean you are going backwards. It does not mean you are losing English. And very important, it does not mean you are failing. What is really happening is this. Your brain is working quietly. It is organizing the language. It is building connections. Progress is happening, but you cannot always see it. So when you feel stuck, the best thing you can do is this. Stay calm, keep going, keep practicing, and trust the process. Because feeling stuck is often a sign that real learning is happening underneath.
I really like that idea, not a straight line. Many learners think they should improve every day, but real learning is slower.
Yeah, exactly, Tom. Another reason learners feel stuck is too much information. Today, there are many apps, many videos, many teachers, many methods. Learners try everything. They jump from one method to another. They start one book, then stop, then start another book. This creates confusion. They feel lost. They don't know what to do next.
Yeah, that is very true, John. Many learners tell me, I don't know what to study.
Yeah, and when you don't know what to study, you lose motivation.
Okay, John, speaking of motivation, I want to talk about something emotional now. Not grammar, not vocabulary. I want to talk about fear. Many learners tell me this. They say, Tom, I understand some English, but I'm afraid to speak. So, why do you think fear is such a big problem for language learners?
Tom, that is a very important question. Fear is one of the biggest problems in language learning. Bigger than grammar, bigger than vocabulary. I have seen this problem in many countries, in many contexts, with young and adult learners. Learners often think like this is in their head. If I make a mistake, people will laugh. If my English is not good, people will judge me. If I speak wrong English, I will look stupid. These thoughts are very strong, and these thoughts create fear. Fear makes the body tense. When you are afraid, your brain does not work freely. This fear stops learners from speaking. They know the answer, but they stay silent. And this is very sad because speaking is very important.
Yeah, I completely agree. I often say this to my students. You cannot learn to speak if you never speak. You can read many books, you can watch many videos, but if you never speak, speaking will always feel difficult.
Exactly, Tom. Speaking is a skill, and skills grow with practice. But here is something very important. Mistakes are not a problem. Mistakes are not something bad. Mistakes are not something to be ashamed of. Mistakes are part of learning. And I'm sure, Tom, you have mentioned that in many of your episodes. Think about children. When children learn their first language, they make many mistakes. They say wrong words, they say wrong sentences, they mix things up, okay? But nobody laughs at them. Nobody says, this child is stupid. We understand something important. We understand that mistakes mean learning.
Yeah, when a child makes a mistake, we usually smile. We think it is cute. We think it's normal.
Exactly. But when adults learn a language, something changes. Adults are very hard on themselves. Hard on yourself means you are very strict with yourself. You expect too much from yourself. Adults want to speak perfectly. They want correct grammar. They want the right accent. They want the right word every time. And when they cannot do this, they feel disappointed. They feel sad because reality is not what they wanted.
That is very true, John. Adults want to be perfect. They don't want to sound like learners. They don't want to look weak.
Perfect English is not the goal. The real goal is communication. The real goal is sharing ideas, sharing thoughts, and sharing feelings. If you say something and the other person understands you, you are successful. Even if your grammar is not perfect, even if your sentence is simple, and even if your accent is strong. So, if people understand you, You are doing well.
I really like that, John. Understanding is more important than perfection.
Yes, very much. And I want to say this clearly to everyone listening. Do not wait to be perfect to speak. Do not wait to know everything. Speak now. Make mistakes now. Learn now, because every mistake you make is a step forward. Fear tells you to stop. Learning tells you to continue. And when you choose learning over fear, your English will grow.
All right, John, thank you so much. Now let's talk about grammar. Many learners tell me I must learn all the grammar before I speak. What do you think about this?
Well, this is a very common belief. Grammar is important, but grammar is not everything. Many learners study grammar rules for years, but they cannot speak naturally. Why? Because grammar knowledge does not automatically become speaking skill.
So, John, you mean knowing is not the same as using, right?
Exactly. Grammar should be a tool, not a prison. A prison is a place where you cannot move freely, right? Some learners feel trapped by grammar. They think too much before speaking. They check every sentence in their head. This slows them down.
So, what is a better approach, John?
Well, a better approach, a better method, a better way of doing it is this: learn grammar in small pieces, use it in real sentences, hear it many times. Over time, grammar becomes natural. You don't think about it anymore.
Okay, another big problem, John, is vocabulary. Learners say, I know many words, but I forget them. Why does this happen?
Well, that's a good question. This happens because of how words are learned. Many learners learn words alone, just a word and a translation, okay? For example, a word in English and the meaning in their own language. But words do not live alone. Words live in sentences, in situations, in stories.
Yeah, so you mean words need context, right? A situation where the word is used.
Exactly. If you learn a word in a sentence, your brain remembers it better. Also, learners try to learn too many words. 10 words every day, 20 words every day. This is too much.
So, do you mean slower is better?
Well, much better. 5 words used many times is better than 50 words you forget.
Okay, John, thank you so much. This was a beautiful conversation. You shared real experience, simple truth, and very helpful advice.
My pleasure, Tom. Thank you for inviting me. And to everyone listening, be kind to yourself. You are learning, you are growing, and you are doing better than you think.
Okay, my friends, thank you for listening to another episode of English Unleashed. If you enjoyed this episode, listen again, share it, and remember, slow English, simple English, real progress. Bye for now.